Willow Creek is a small American town, isolated and seemingly ordinary. With its nostalgic charm and residents rooted in old routines, the town feels like one of those places where nothing remarkable ever happens. But Lauren Harrison, an investigative journalist from a regional newspaper, has been assigned to write a story about rural American life, sending her to Willow Creek. What begins as a simple assignment quickly stirs her curiosity. Upon her arrival, Lauren hears whispers about a recent string of deaths in the town. Officially, the deaths are all attributed to natural causes, but certain residents appear uneasy. Intrigued by these strange coincidences, Lauren decides this sleepy little town might hold more stories than it seems. When Lauren arrives in the heart of Willow Creek, she's greeted by a scene straight out of another decade. The storefronts are decorated with old-fashioned signs, and the town square has an atmosphere that feels suspended in time. Yet, beneath the quaint facades, she senses an air of decline, as though the town is stuck in a time it can't quite leave behind. Tired from the long journey to Willow Creek, Lauren decides to stay at a motel. On her way there, she notices several locals staring at her and murmuring among themselves. Lauren feels unsettled by their behavior. It's as if the presence of a newcomer in town disturbs them. The next morning, Lauren decides to start gathering information about the strange occurrences in Willow Creek. Her first stop is the local coffee shop, a modest but bustling spot where locals gather to catch up over coffee and pastries. It's here that she meets Dr. Charles Stokes, Willow Creek's dentist, for the first time. He's impeccably polite and charming, dressed in a brown suit and flashing a dazzlingly bright smile. Stokes exudes an aura of warmth that feels almost rehearsed. He greets her warmly, welcoming her to Willow Creek, but ends their chat with a quiet warning.
We value peace here. Some things are better left alone.
The odd undertone in his words lingers in her mind. Why would a dentist need such a flawless smile? And what did he mean by things better left alone? The following day, Lauren begins her investigation quietly, posing as a journalist working on a story about small-town life. She reviews recent obituaries and contacts some of the families of the deceased. She soon discovers that all the recent deaths in the town have been attributed to natural causes. Heart failures, respiratory issues, nothing that would normally raise suspicion. However, a troubling detail catches her attention. Each of the deceased had visited Dr. Stokes shortly before their passing. During her research, Lauren meets Amy, a nurse at the local hospital. Speaking in hushed tones, Amy shares rumors circulating among the staff.
Some of Stokes's patients, well, they start feeling worse after they see him,
she whispers, glancing around nervously. Amy warns Lauren not to spread these rumors, and especially not to antagonize Stokes.
Around here, he's more than just a dentist,
she says ominously, her expression a mix of fear and caution. Lauren's curiosity only deepens. Why does everyone seem so reluctant to discuss this dentist? As Lauren continues to dig into the town's secrets, she begins to feel a mounting tension around her. One evening, she returns to her motel to find a note slipped under her door that reads, "Willow Creek doesn't need an outsider. Leave." That same night, Lauren receives several phone calls in which she hears nothing but silence on the other end. This chilling silence becomes a threatening presence, as if someone somewhere is trying to warn her. While she reviews her research notes in her room, the phone rings again. This time, a low and almost inaudible voice warns her to stay away from Stokes' clinic.
You'd better stay away from Dr. Stokes' clinic, if you know what's good for you.
Far from scaring her away, these threats only reinforce her determination to uncover the truth. But a dark knot of fear starts to form inside her. Determined to gather more information, Lauren decides to visit Stokes' clinic, pretending to need a routine dental checkup. The clinic is small but meticulously clean, to a degree that feels unsettling. Every surface gleams, almost like it's been scrubbed obsessively. In the waiting room, she overhears a quiet conversation between Stokes and his assistant, mentioning special procedures, a phrase that piques her curiosity. When she finally sits in the dentist's chair, Stokes examines her with a gaze so intense it feels as though he's looking right through her. He asks her probing questions that seem oddly personal for a routine visit. showing an interest in her health and in why she's visiting Willow Creek. The fact that Stokes seems to know so much about her is unnerving. Finally, he offers her a special appointment for a more thorough treatment, but the way he phrases it only heightens her wariness. As she leaves, his smile feels uncomfortably intense, as though he knows the power his presence is starting to exert over her. One day, Lauren receives a frantic call from Alice, a local woman who sounds terrified.
Hello, is this Lauren?
Yes, who's speaking?
Lauren? Oh, thank God you picked up. I didn't know who else to call. Something's terribly wrong.
Alice? Hey, it's okay, take a deep breath. Just tell me what's going on.
After my last visit to Dr. Stokes, things started happening. At first, it was just numbness, my hands, my feet. But now it's like I'm frozen sometimes, can't move at all. And there are visions. I see things, but they're not real. Shadows moving, strange faces. I can't tell what's real anymore.
Alice? Hey, it's okay, take a deep breath. Just tell me what's going on.
And the pain. It's like someone's pressing down on my chest, twisting. I don't know how to describe it, but it comes and goes. Like it's being done to me, Lauren.
I believe you, Alice. I can hear it in your voice, you're really scared. We'll figure this out, I promise.
There's one thing I can't shake. When he was giving me the anesthesia, he leaned in close, so close I could feel his breath, and he whispered something. I can't remember what he said, but it was wrong, Lauren. Whatever he whispered, it's like it's clawing at my mind, just out of reach.
Wait, he whispered something to you while giving you the anesthesia? Do you remember what he said?
No, I just know it left me feeling so unsettled. It's as if it's buried deep, but I can't reach it.
It's okay, Alice. Sometimes memories like that get buried, especially if they were frightening. But if you remember anything, even a word or phrase, please let me know. It could help.
Please, I don't know what's happening to me, but you have to promise, you won't tell anyone I said this. If he finds out, I don't even know what he'd do. Please, Lauren, help me.
And don't worry, I won't say a word to anyone. This is between us, okay? Just stay safe, and call me if anything changes or if you need anything. I'll help you, Alice. Whatever this is, we're going to get answers.
The call ends, leaving Lauren disturbed and more convinced than ever that Dr. Stokes is hiding something sinister. Alice's symptoms and her memory of the whispered words only add to the unsettling mystery surrounding the dentist. Lauren heads to the town hall to investigate old clinic records. She learns that Stokes arrived in Willow Creek in the 1960s, taking over after the town's previous dentist disappeared without a trace. As she sifts through the documents, she finds references to past deaths and disappearances also attributed to natural causes, strange events that began around the time of Stokes's arrival. However, many of the records are poorly archived or missing pages, as if someone tried to bury certain details. While she's poring over these files, she hears hushed voices nearby discussing
getting her out of town before she causes trouble.
Lauren feels paranoia creeping in, but she resolves to keep pushing forward. Lauren continues interviewing the families of recent victims, who describe how their loved ones seemed detached and strange after their visits to the clinic. They mention a lack of interest in their surroundings, almost as if they'd been drained of vitality. While taking notes, Lauren notices Tommy, the town's mechanic, watching her from a distance. When she leaves, Tommy approaches her and warns her to leave Willow Creek.
We know who's in charge here.
He mutters, implying that Stokes holds far more power than she imagined. One night, Lauren finds an envelope slipped under her motel door containing an old newspaper clipping about a disappearance in Willow Creek. Inside the envelope is a key. Driven by curiosity, she sneaks into Stokes's clinic after hours. Exploring in the dark, she stumbles upon a hidden room filled with shelves lined with jars, each labeled with names and dates. When she shines her flashlight on one, she realizes it contains human teeth. Terrified, she snaps photos of the grisly evidence, but before she can leave, she hears footsteps approaching. She manages to escape just in time, with the certainty that Stokes is involved in something horrific. After publishing a preliminary article on her findings, Lauren receives a warning from her editor, advising her to halt the investigation to avoid making enemies. Shortly afterward, Stokes confronts her on the street, flashing a sinister smile and showing her a photo of Alice in his clinic, now looking inexplicably healthy.
My patients appreciate how I take away their pain,
he says, and Lauren realizes Alice no longer remembers her symptoms or their conversation. It's as though she's been reprogrammed. Lauren becomes the target of open intimidation. One night, her car breaks down on a deserted road, and Stokes appears by chance to offer her help. She refuses, but his smile and his calm tone make it clear he considers her his prey. Terrified, she decides to take refuge at the newspaper office, haunted by the fear that every shadow might be hiding a threat. Desperate, Lauren returns to the clinic one last time to obtain conclusive evidence. She finds Stokes in the operating room, who greets her with a chilling smile. The situation escalates into a physical struggle, and as Stokes tries to restrain her in the dental chair, he whispers,
"I'll take your pain away forever, little Lauren."
In a desperate act, Lauren manages to break free just as the police, alerted by her screams, arrive on the scene. After Stokes' arrest, the town is thrown into shock. Police find human remains in the clinic basement and detailed files documenting the sadistic treatments Stokes subjected his patients to. Some townspeople admit to covering for him in exchange for favors, while others fear for the town's reputation now that the truth is out. Lauren leaves Willow Creek, hoping to leave the nightmare behind her. But weeks later, she receives a letter from a new dental practice in her city. The note, written in elegant handwriting, reads, "Not all dental issues end with extraction. Sincerely, Drivis."
Dear Ms. Lauren Harrison, we are pleased to inform you that a new dental practice has opened in your city, dedicated to providing the most advanced and delicate care to each of our patients. Reminding you that not all dental issues end with an extraction, we invite you to a courtesy consultation to address any future needs you may have. Sincerely, Drivis.
Lauren freezes, realizing that some monsters never really go away, and that her nightmare might be far from over.